Welcome back to the Walking Leader Podcast. I am your host, Dave Guerra, and this is another installment in our Level Up Your Self-Leadership series. If you're just joining us for the first time, this series is all about helping you take ownership of your growth, sharpen your self-leadership skills, and ultimately become a stronger leader for yourself and others. And today's episode is one I know many of you will connect with because we're talking about goals. More specifically, how to set goals that actually stick. And to do that, we are diving into one of the most practical and powerful tools out there, the S.M.A.R.T Goals Framework, the S.M.A.R.T Goals Framework. Now, let me ask you this. How many times have you set a goal in January, full of excitement and energy, only to see it fizzle out by February? I think we've all been there. I know I've been there. And the truth is, it is not because we do not care or because we're lazy. Most of the time, the problem is how we set the goal in the first place. And this is where the S.M.A.R.T goals come in. And today, I'm going to break down exactly what they are, why they work, and how you can start using them right away to create goals that actually stick. Let us start with the obvious. Why do so many goals fail? One big reason is vagueness. We say things like, I want to get in shape, or I want to do better at work. But what does that actually mean? Without clarity, our brain does not know where to go. And without a clear finish line, we cannot measure progress. Another reason is that goals are often unrealistic. Maybe we set the bar so high or so fast that we set ourselves up for failure, frustration right away. Now, maybe we set goals that do not actually connect with our deeper values and we lose motivation. And sometimes we do those because we set those because we believe that's what other people want to hear. We believe that's what others expect from us. You should only be expecting from yourself. So the first step to becoming a stronger self-leader is to admitting it's not enough to have goals. You need the right kind of goals, the ones that fit you. This is where the S.M.A.R.T, S-M-A.R.T framework comes in. S.M.A.R.T, S-M-A.R.T stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, let's go through each one of those. Specific. Your goal needs to be clear and concrete. Instead of, I want to read more, a specific goal would be, I want to read one leadership book each month. Specificity tells you and your brain exactly what to focus on. Measurable, the M. If you cannot measure it, you cannot track it. Numbers, milestones, or checklists matter here. For example, I want to run 3 times a week is measurable, and you can actually look back and see if you did that. I only ran 2 this week. Achievable. Now, do not confuse achievable with easy. No. A good goal should stretch you. A good goal should go beyond the comfort zone. But it also has to be realistic. Now, saying, I'll run a marathon next month when you have never even jogged before is not achievable. That's not going to happen. I don't care who you are. It's not going to happen. But saying and setting the goal, an achievable goal, like, I'll train for a 5K over the next 3 months. Now, that's achievable. And that's measurable. The next one, R. R, the fourth one, is relevant. R is relevant. Relevant. This one is often overlooked, but it is critical. A relevant goal lines up with your bigger values and priorities. If your personal value is family time, then setting a goal to spend less time at home really does not align with who you are and what you value deep down. It creates a conflict. Relevant goals keep you motivated because they matter to you. Again, they're relevant to you, and that's where it should be always. Now, our last one here is time-bound. It's your goal, whatever goal you have, it doesn't matter what it is. Even those lifetime goals that you set for yourself, there's going to be a deadline. And they all need them. All goals need a deadline. See, without a time frame, your goals can just drift into someday territory. And we are all guilty of someday. I'll get around to it someday. Or I know I said that last year, but it's not this year. Yes, this or that, whatever excuse. And that's what happens. when you roll into or drift into someday territory. Saying, I'll get healthy one day really does not drive action. But saying, I'll complete a 30-day fitness challenge by the end of October, well, it puts urgency behind it, because right now as I'm recording this, we're recording this on the 20th of September for publication here in a couple of days. Again, well, it's the 30-day. You still got all 30 days, the end of October. So it's doable. There's urgency behind it, but the clock is ticking. And when the clock is ticking, now you not only have your goal, but now you have that sense of urgency behind it to meet that goal. And you can do it. Let us put this into practice. Say your vague goal is, I want to get better at public speaking. Now let's make it SMART, specific. I will practice public speaking. Measurable. I will deliver 5 practice speeches to my peers. Achievable. I will start with short 5-minute talks. Relevant. This helps me become more effective as a leader. Time-bound. I'll complete this by the end of the next 60 days. Now, instead of a vague dream, you now have a roadmap you can follow. This is the power of SMART goals. So why is this so important for self-leadership? Because self-leaders do not just dream, they take action. They do not just talk about someday, they make it today. When you create SMART goals, you are not just setting yourself up for success, you are building the muscle of accountability, discipline, and consistency. And those are the exact traits every strong leader needs. When you lead yourself well, you earn the right and the credibility to lead others well. Now, here's the final piece. Setting SMART goals is great, but sticking with them requires accountability. That could mean tracking your progress in a journal. It could mean sharing your goals with a trusted friend or mentor. It could mean checking in with yourself weekly to see how you are doing. And remember, the goal, whatever it is not perfection. It should never be perfection. It always has been and always will be about progress, moving forward, growing. SMART goals help you stay on that path, even if you stumble along the way. So here's your challenge. This week, take one of your vague goals and turn it into a SMART goal. Write it down. Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And then take action. Because the self-leader does not just hope for change. They don't hope for someone to show up at the door. They don't hope for the phone to ring. They don't hope for that letter to come in the mail. No, what they hope for is that they have that goal that they can lead themselves in, that will lead them into change, that will make them lead themselves into change. So remember that. No, you do. Don't just hope. You actually do it. Take action. I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Walking Leader Podcast. I hope you found this episode helpful. Please share it with someone you know who is working on their goals or someone who wants to get started on goals. And do not forget to visit me at daveguerra.com. That's my website for more leadership tools and resources. And until next time, remember this. You are always leading, whether you realize it or not. So lead well and lead with purpose. And that means breaking from the crowd and being the walking leader.
The Walking Leader Podcast is a David Guerra presentation.